Steve, morning. Hello.
I better be careful as well how we get out the chair apparently as well, haven't I?
Yes. Have you seen that?
These are a sad load of...
Where did that come from?
I don't know where it come from, but I was a bit aware of it.
Thanks. We've got too much time.
Unbelievable.
Stop breathing.
Unbelievable.
Steve, first of all, what do you know? Can you tell us anything about this latest Peter Kenyon?
I honestly, until Lee briefed me this morning, news to me, and it's it's something I can comment on because it's, as I said, Lee informed me that was something breaking last night, but I haven't heard anything to the contrary.
So no chats with the
No.
owner?
No.
When you accepted this job, were you made aware that there could be potential of takeover?
It's something that didn't really come into any conversation really. I think it's it's happened that many times, even from reading about it from afar. So, as I said, you're asking the wrong person. It's something which, I didn't really go into when I talked about the job in the first place. So, you're asking the wrong person.
I get the impression by the way you're speaking that it wouldn't affect you anyway.
Well, I can't influence anything like that. I can't influence. The only thing I can influence is how we play on a Saturday and or Sunday in this particular week. So that's the only thing I can really focus on.
Yeah, just finally on it, as a manager, is this something over the years in your experience you have to sort of get used to it?
You have to get used to. It's happened to me before. It's happened to me 3 or 4 times. It's something you get used to. There's always, this club in particular, there's always speculation surrounding it, and it's never happened. So let's watch this space.
How are you looking on the injury front ahead of this one?
Thankfully good, as long as we come through. We've got a couple of days obviously today and tomorrow. The only one that really is not making any is Shelby's got a problem with a hamstring.
Is he out then, yeah?
He's out. Matt Ritchie is now 4 weeks into he's making progress, but not too far away, not available for Sunday. Alan and Andy are okay.
How serious is Shelby?
He's got a grade 2 hamstring, so he'll be a couple of weeks.
I guess a big blow for you because are you still missing Longstaff?
Longstaff's okay. He's trained all week. He'll be okay.
Okay. That's a boost for you given how well he's done in the last 6 months or so since he.
Well, he's had a wonderful rise, the lad, and then all of a sudden, he's picked up a nasty injury, and that tells you everything about football, doesn't it? 1 minute you're up, and the next minute, unfortunately, you're down. So, yeah, he's done very, very well, the kid, and be good to see him tomorrow again because, as I said, he had missed 4 or 5 months of last year, and be good to have him back again.
With Shelby's one, is that something he's picked up in training, or is
No, he picked it up in the game last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think it's been hampering him for a while?
I think he's been hampered with a thigh injury, which has been niggling away, to be fair to him, for a long time. I think it was the best part of last year too, that it's still not 100% right. This is a different injury, don't get me wrong, but I do think he has been playing with it. And I think in any league you get a little bit found out if that's the problem. So we'll take this opportunity to make sure he is right and go from there.
You've taken your time with Andy Carroll, and rightly so given the problems that he's had. He got the 10 minutes last week. Do you feel by the way you're managing him you are soon going to see the best in him? Well,
I think all of us just need to one thing is to manage him and get him on the pitch. We all know what he can do as a footballer. The big thing and the big question, of course, is fitness levels. But he's trained again all week, and touch wood, there's not been any problem or any reaction. And I think that's the big thing, is the reaction to training and the workload that we put into him. So far, so good. We'll just keep monitoring and keep hoping that he stays well.
You've had a week to reflect on the Brighton game. Looking back, I'm sure you will have many a time. Are you concerned? Was there any concern?
Listen. We didn't play well.
Yeah.
We didn't play well enough with or without the ball.
Does that concern you?
Does it concern me? It always concerns a coach, or a head manager or coach, whatever you want to call you. It always concerns you when you don't play well enough. It's disappointing because, but we didn't lose the game. Yes, we had to improve. If we're gonna make a fist of it this year, we have to be better than what we were last week. Quite simple. So another opportunity on Sunday. We've got a few back through injury, which will make us slightly better, I hope. And and we'll crack on.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds as though, just from you talking about the injuries, that you've got options now. I mean, the first couple of weeks you were just having...
Yeah, it's been a big problem. We've had a few long-term ones, and especially at the top end of the pitch, where it can make a little bit of a difference. We've seen what a difference it made last week. Yeah. In the last 20 minutes, half an hour in a game, we were much better when we made the changes. So it's something that you take on board, and as I said, we'll have to improve this week on last week's performance. But I think we all know that.
Yeah, you've already done well against a full-strength Leicester side this.
Yeah, it was a good game.
And you had a fairly weakened side out of that injury.
Well, yeah, we played very, very well against them, and it was a good game the other week. It could have went either way. Unfortunately, we lost it on penalties, but they're a good side. They've evolved into a very, very good side over the years. Very, very good side. So we know if we're going to get something, we're going to have to be at our best. We're capable as what we've seen. So look forward to the challenge again.
Just finally from me, do you think this sort of game, away against Leicester, away against Spurs, away against Liverpool, in a strange roundabout way, like we saw with Rafa Benitez last season, the way the team is formed and the way it's set up, you've actually probably got as good a chance of getting something out of it as you do a game where you're expected to have...
I think in the Premier League you have to perform, and if you can score a goal, first, it usually matters big style. I think it's like something like 80%. If you score first, you win. So it's crucial in the Premier League. In my experience with Keith, it's all the teams have got good players. We've got good players. Leicester have got good players. Brighton have got good players. The Premier League is full of very, very good teams, and that's why it's so difficult. And if you don't perform to the level that you're capable of, then you're going to struggle. So, I'm sure the Spurs fans, when we go back to that victory, that on that day you'd be saying, well, they didn't perform well enough. That's the way it is. And if you don't, then you're in for a difficult afternoon.
Steve, how's DeAndre Yedlin looking?
Yeah, he's trained now for the last 2 weeks. He's been out something like 5 months. So we've had to be careful. He's had a couple of setbacks with it, but he's trained the last couple of weeks as well. So there again, that gives us another... I haven't really seen him apart from the last 2 weeks in training. So that gives us another option in that department as well.
But available?
He's available, yes. He's available from this weekend, yeah.
In terms of Leicester, there's been a lot of talk about whether maybe they could break into the top 6 this season, perhaps even higher. What's your take on that?
Well, when you look at the side they've got, and it was one of the great achievements them winning the Premier League. How we all were delighted that the small club, no disrespect to Leicester, was fantastic for everybody. And since then, they've obviously made a couple of changes and brought in Brendan playing a certain way. But what you can't underestimate is the core of the team that's been together a long time is very, very good. From the goalkeeper to the centre backs to the midfield players, and they're a very, very good side. Whether they'll get into the top 6 remains to be seen.
Is he taking them back again to that next level, do you think, Brendan Rodgers?
Well, he's a very, very talented manager, and I think, like any head coach or manager, it's the players what you've got, and he's got some good players. So we know it's going to be a difficult game.
There was a lot of focus on the Brighton match. Is it fair to say that having not won that game, that does increase the pressure in terms of needing...
There's always pressure here. Every week's the same thing. We didn't play well enough. I think we understand that. We have to accept that, and we have to improve on that. And once that happens, you don't play well enough, then you move on to the next one. And we were certainly better in the last 20 minutes, would give me food for thought. So let's hope we can perform better than we did last week.
Do you tot it up in your head at all? Do you think, right, we've dropped points there, so we're going to need to pick up points where we...
I think it's your accumulation of points over a season. This time last year, after 7 games, we had 2 points. Ended up being wherever we finished. So it's the accumulation over points. We knew we had the top 6 in our first 9 games, so we knew it was going to be difficult with the start we had. But we've just got to keep trying to put as many points on the board as you possibly can, and that's the aim of every team, I suppose.
And how much encouragement do you take from the Tottenham result, the Liverpool game, which yes you lost but could have equalised 2-2? That could have gone differently.
As I said, there's big moments in games. It's when you don't play well enough, and to be fair, the 7 games we've played and the 1 cup tie against Leicester, in 2 of them games we haven't got to the levels where we need to be at to get something out of the game or win the game. So we're still trying to improve. As I said, we're getting a few back, which is going to help us. And as I said, we'll keep trying and take it forward.
And it is the start of a tough mini run, isn't it? Chelsea, Manchester
It's been tough.
coming up.
I knew until after the Chelsea game, looking at it with the 2 breaks, as I said, it's the top 6 in there, with Leicester away and all, which many people are tipped to be in there or thereabouts. We knew it was going to be a difficult start, but then again, the Premier League is very, very difficult from top to bottom in its own way.
Thank you.
Steve, you often seem to get in the Premier League these so-called winnable games, and then those games where it's going to be really hard to get anything. Do you think the Tottenham result kind of changed that slightly?
It was a result that nobody had seen, that's why. But you know, we've got no divine right to beat anybody. They're all good sides in the Premier League. They're all in their own way. You know, we've got good players. So the one thing you have to do is perform to a level. We've got good players ourselves. We've now added with a little bit more up the top end of the pitch, which is going to hopefully help us. But you know, the result, like Tottenham, as I said, becomes it gives everybody a lift at that particular time, and we need another big performance. And of course, a result along the way always helps.
And will the key, particularly away from home, is get support up for the likes of Joe Linton, get players breaking?
Yeah, I mean a lot's been said about that, of course. And as I said, we've been a bit hamstrung with our options for one reason and another. So I hope we can be better in that department. We certainly have to be better in terms of goals. We understand that, and let's hope we can with the people that we've got coming back.
And Shelby's hamstring injury, Sean Longstaff coming back. I mean, him and Hayden actually had a very good partnership towards the end of last game.
Yeah, they played very, very well. You know, obviously I wasn't here to witness it, but the rise of Sean was very, very quick, very, very quick, and it coincided with the team winning a few games, which always helps as well. So we're delighted he's fit. As I said, it was one of them freak accidents where he's gone to block a ball and turned his ankle over. His brother's doing very, very well as well underneath that, which we're delighted about. So yeah, good to see him back.
Of the many things Brendan Rodgers has done, perhaps doesn't always get full credit, but he seems to have got Jamie Vardy enjoying his football again.
Well, he's a very, very talented player. We all understand that, you know, and he's one of them where age doesn't seem to be catching up with him at all. He looks as quick and as lively as he did when he was as 22 as he does now. You know, he's a threat with his pacing behind you, and he's been a very, very good player for a lot of years now in the Premier League. So we'll have to defend well against him, that's for sure.
So, Steve, saw the difference that Andy Carroll made last week to your team and to the shape of the game when he came off the bench. How long, given his fitness, until he's more than a come off the bench option?
I think we can't really judge by that. We just have to take it week by week, you know, and see where he's up to. It'll be, you know, he's now trained the best part of 2 and a bit weeks with the actual squad, you know. So the longer that goes on, and the more he trains, and the more minutes he gets on the pitch, then there'll obviously be a time when hopefully he's in a condition that we can start him, and that's got to be the aim, and that's what we're trying to aim towards.
Thank you. Just a reminder, under embargo till 9:30. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any noise when you go?
Don't make any noises. Yippee!
Cheers. Thank you.